We welcome you live to this season number 5 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series race at Kentucky. And here we go. We are all live up and running today from Kentucky Speedway. It's the first time we've been at this racetrack in nearly a calendar year, and it plays host to its third ever race here in the Cup Series, and this one is, of course, for season number 5. And we get ready to go here tonight from Kentucky Speedway. The Cup Series, of course, and the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League is back after a week away, or 2 weeks away. Well, technically a week away, 2 weeks since we had our last race, which was actually the last league race. The last race we had officially in the league was a Cup race. It was in Miami 2 weeks ago, and now we are back tonight at yet another mile and a half in Kentucky. But some rule changes have happened. A lot of things to talk about here coming up in this warm-up session from Kentucky Speedway. It, of course, is race number 14 of the Cup Series season. We'll also be going over your chase standings entering the night. We'll also be looking at some of the drivers to watch out for, some of the notable stories and other stuff like that. I got to have Eli Franklin, as always, in the booth with us today. Landon Johnson will be our in-race reporter once he gets himself into here. He's going to take a very long time. It takes a very, very long time for that man to walk to his race car. And yeah, we are just about ready to go here from Kentucky. Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's what you can get here around Kentucky Speedway. All these drivers are very full on KFC after this week. Of course, we didn't have any Grand National Series yesterday. No iCar, of course, either. So the only thing this week was the Cup Series, and we are ready to go here tonight on Thursday night. There, of course, there's no lobbies either tomorrow. So this is our one event of the week for our return week after the off week, or spring break, I guess you can call it as well. All right, so of course, half-hour warm-up session start off. As always, 2 laps of qualifying the starting lineup for tonight for these 134 laps around the mile and a half in Kentucky. All right, here we go. Anyways, sorry, car is about to be on the racetrack. All right, so we are here in Kentucky. Here we go. We're gonna see cars just about to pull onto the track here for the warm-up session to start us off. All right, welcome live to Kentucky Speedway. It's a lot of green around here in Kentucky for sponsorship reasons. And Eli, I think you got to fix your mic. I can hear you every single breath.
Gotcha.
All right. Anyways, of course, we got to have Eli Franklin here in the booth with us today. So, Eli, we haven't been here in Kentucky in just about a year. Last time we were here was last May. Of course, we're back here for season number 5. So a mile and a half racetrack, but kind of a unique track. What makes this track unique in your eyes to other mile and a halves?
Well, this mile and a half, honestly, each corner is completely different. Turns 1 and 2 is very much a bottom groove for turns 1 and 2, and the turns 3 and 4 is completely different because you can honestly say it's multi-groove, and tires matter a lot here. You really don't think Kentucky has a tire track, but it is a tire track, and each turn is completely different, and the drivers have to adjust to that and compare the other tracks. Maybe in a mile and a half, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 are the same, as this track's completely different.
Yeah, we'll see how drivers are able to do this tonight. I guess you could say if you gotta compare a track, it's most like Texas because 1 and 2 are different than 3 and 4, in my eyes at least. So here comes the 31, Max DeFilippi. Actually, it was just announced that he's going to be full-time the rest of the Cup Series season with Chandler Wilson Racing in the 31. CWR was actually granted a charter from Cash Culp Racing because Cash Culp can't exactly get a driver to his car any sort of week. So Max DeFilippi will be driving the 31 for the rest of the year, starting tonight in Kentucky, so he makes his way down into 1 and 2. Got Ethan McMillan behind him in 7. Of course, full-time Grand National Series driver making one of his Cup Series attempts today as they head down the back straightaway. All right, here is the 09 of John Butler. There's the 8 of Cameron Chandler, winner in Miami 2 weeks ago. His second win of the season, currently holds a very nice points lead as he heads down the back straightaway here. And will make his way back into 3 and 4. And here comes Zane Rahman in the 1 car down the front stretch, and there's the 77 defending series champion Braden Hunsinger. We're coming to race 14, still winless this year. So insane to even think about that. take a look at your Cup Series chase standings entering tonight here in Kentucky. Of course, Cameron Chandler currently sits 241 above chase cut line. He has now been the first driver to lock himself into the chase after his 2 wins on the year, looking to also clinch the regular season title soon as well. Bryce Benson sits second in points, 4 wins this year, plus 179. Sean Rowe, great season, 2 wins, sits third. Braden Hunsinger still winless this year, but sits P4 right now. You see Matthew White P5, 122 above the chase cut line 8, and Donnie only plus 106. Axel Smith only plus 51. John Butler plus 43. Asher Miller only plus 28. Jake Quill right there in the bubble only plus 7. Andrew Stacey was down minus 7. You see Payson Lindsay still minus 19 with 5 races to go before the chase begins. Then you got Aiden Holes still down there minus 25. Trenton Wilkin minus 31. Con Harberell is back there as well. And you got Davy and Tobin 16th in points minus 50. So a lot of drivers, a lot of work to do, and a lot of drivers sitting pretty comfortable right now. That would include Cameron Chandler, of course. Locked into the chase, looking to lock up that regular season title, like I said, pretty soon. We'll see if he can do it. So another thing that's changed this week is there actually has been a 10% horsepower increase with these race cars. So that was a new feature that is now in iRacing that allows us to do that, which is definitely good. So hopefully that will improve some sort of racing issues that we've had this season. Also, drivers get an extra set of tires, 5 instead of 4 tonight.
It also changed a lot for a driver with 10% more horsepower. It may not sound like a lot, but that's a lot more off-throttle time, more chance to save fuel. Probably he's going to use more tires as you're more speed into the corner and off, so probably use more tire. And recently updated, so maybe these guys are practicing with 10 less horsepower and then practice now going into the race with 10 more horsepower.
Yeah, of course. Here is your winner, Matthew White, here last season. Love to go back to victory lane today. He is, third win of the year if he can do that. He also won Phoenix and Richmond this season in the 7 car. Here is 31 of Max Stiffy down the back stretch as well. The 1 of Zane Rahman making his way down to 3 and 4. All right. Oh, and around goes Rahman in the 1. He goes for a spin here in Kentucky. Down the back straightaway goes the 09 of John Butler. Of course, having another consistent year. Currently sits out of the chase.
Payson Lindsay's now on track. Was about, I'll say, over 50 points back before the break. And guys on the cut line didn't race 2 weeks ago, and he took advantage of opportunity. Now he is 1 good day away from being basically almost not inside the cut line. So he had a great week right before the break and hopes to carry this momentum here in Kentucky as his first now on his first lap of practice. Also, he can't afford any DNS. Hoping more drivers tonight. If there's more drivers, that's more opportunity to gain and possibly win tonight.
Yeah, also Payson finished second at Bristol, season best, a few weeks ago from the last Great Coliseum. So Bristol riding still some momentum off of that. Here's the 42 of Aiden Holes. There's Hunsinger on the inside of the 8 of Cameron Chandler. Braden so far is top of the board. So they will go down the front straightaway. Back at a 1 and 2 here. Okay. More cars sitting on pit road. There's Aiden Holes, the 42 to 77. Hunsinger once again. So waiting on a lot more cars to join. 7 of Matthew White.
The window is real quick.
Oh.
So I'm going to check see what the field window is. I'm going to hop on track here just to see.
Should be pretty similar to Miami. Probably won't be able to make shouldn't be able to make it to the end, I mean. All right, and here's that 7 car of White. heading down the front straightaway. Your winner, like I said, your last season. It's 31 of, Max DeFilippi. Payson Lindsay there in the 99, the 09 of John Butler. Riding with someone else. Eli, actually. Checking the fuel window. Here's the 42 of Aiden Holes, the 8 of Cameron Chandler as well. Oh, and Holes will now go around. Oh, my goodness. Collects the 8. Right, real quick, we're going to reload iRacing. Just give us a minute. I just got to fix something. So, of course, still underway here in Kentucky for the Cup Series Race 14 of the year. And the grid is looking pretty not good so far, unfortunately. It's becoming a theme lately, and frankly, I'm getting tired of it. All right. And we are back here once again. Anyways, here's the one Roman. How about the 01 of Jamie McKinney making his first start of the year here? He is actually a former Cup Series winner back in Season 2 at Martinsville. By the way, that's, just for comparison, Cameron Chandler had never won a NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National or Cup Series race at that time. So that's just the show. You know, and Bryce Benson was a Grand National Series rookie. And Matthew White was a defending series champion in the Cup Series, and you're only ever defending series champion. So that kind of shows that comparison. Put it in perspective, I mean.
A field window got around 50, 55 laps.
So all right,
so
yeah,
you probably need a pit.
Just about the same as Miami. Here's the Napa car, Bryce Benson back at a 1 and 2. Paint scheme.
I will say you could probably save a lot of field. I wouldn't say make it in the stage, but you can probably in a whole run probably save 8 to 10 laps because I mean you're not on the throttle at all throughout the corner. So these guys could probably save fuel through the corners, like lift just a little bit early and just let it coast through the corners. They could save a lot of fuel tonight.
We'll see how that all goes in Kentucky. There's back-to-back mile-and-a-half races. Aiden Holes in the 42. There's the 99 of Payson Lindsay again. And there comes McKinney down the front straightaway. Goes diving down in a 1 and 2. All right, well, 15 just about halfway through this warm-up session. Grid is still looking not good. Hopefully have that boosted up here. And here comes the 09 of Butler again. Aiden Holes in the 42 currently sits in on the inside. Here's the 77 back at a 1 and 2. That being Braden Hunsicker. Cars actually don't look too unstable. I don't know if you've done any laps here, Eli, but did you feel that?
I'll say I feel maybe the first 2 or 3 laps you get tires warmed up, but after that the car feels very steady.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely look a lot more under control than Homestead. That's for sure. I mean, Homestead is definitely a track. It's known to be, have looser cars and whatnot. If somebody's spinning, oh, around goes the 09 of Butler into the wall, and he does a 360 going now in the grass here. The high-speed down pit road. Here goes Matthew White on the front straightaway in the 7 machine. White, of course, a Cup Series champion for his second this year. Currently sitting probably the worst spot of his career, 5th in points. Was 6th in points for a bunch of races as well. So, I mean, Matthew, it has been a down year. Still 2 wins, though. One pretty dominant win in Phoenix, but other than that win in Phoenix, he hasn't really been dominant all year long. Oh! Around goes the a great paint scheme here. Ella Langley on the car for the 70 from McMillan. Celebrating her new album coming out tonight at 12 a.m. Eastern time, so at midnight. We're definitely going to be cranking that up post-race. That's for sure. Lindsay, oh, I guess a little bit, that 31 a little bit air loose, as you can see. There's the 8 of Cameron Chandler. Here's the Buc-ee's machine, the 71 of Cole Clausen. Beautiful paint scheme here this week for Cole. Nice heel rolling down the front straightaway. Heading back into 1. Getting holes in the 42 there is Jacob Quayle in that 14 car.
We're hitting about 195 miles an hour entering turn 1.
I mean, for Kentucky, that is pretty quick, if you think about it.
And Michigan's going to be insane next week.
I know. Well, yeah, especially if we do run that update. When it's not official if we're going to run that or not, boosted up horsepower, but we'll see. All right. Here they go back down at a 1 and 2. We got the 77 of Hunsicker racing with the 66 of Franklin. They go side by side back into 3 and 4 here. About 10 minutes to go in the warm-up session here in Kentucky. Also, Eli, are you racing?
Probably not. I'm just here testing, just messing with stuff, unless you want me to.
Hey, it's up to you.
If we get a small grid, anything under like 18, I'll race.
Alright. Here's the 2 monster cars, Matthew White and Cameron Chandler. Oh, we got a spinner. Down the back straightaway is the 9 of Bryce Benton, and thought he's going to come back and kind of destroy somebody, but no.
We'll say this car, it feels good, but you cannot like punch the throttle down. If you punch it down the back end, if it really quick with the throttle, the back end will want to kick out from you.
I mean, yeah, you got to be disciplined with this car, the Gen 4 machine, and especially with the higher horsepower. That's for sure. All right, here comes the 71 of Clausen making his way back into 3 and 4 with his teammate Ethan McMillan for a bumper. Oh, yeah, my God. Bit of a group here. The 70-66 there, Franklin 99 of Lindsay. There's the 77 of Hunsicker and others. Oh, and there's contact here. McKinney into the door, and oh, he's going to get loose and spin. And, oh man, the one of Ramon slams in them. Oh, here goes Sean Rowe. He will absolutely destroy the back end of that machine. Okay.
Lane Johnson finally here.
Wow. Only took an hour. Here goes Trenton Wilkin in the 12 car back in the 3 and 4. There's the 99 of Pace and the 8 car of Cameron Chandler, the 7. Oh, you got the 70 of McMillan driving his thing down pit road. Here comes Landon off pit road. Only 18 cars, though, so far. 8 minutes left to go. This is unfortunate. I mean, there are 7 cars here Sorry, there are 7 cars here. I'm not here, I'm sorry, that showed up for Homestead, so I don't know why. That would have made 25 tonight. That would have been a lot better looking than this. Unfortunately, iRacing making things very difficult on us lately. And that's the car count has kind of suffered. I mean, I remember, guys, Atlanta had like 34 cars, I think. And Homestead, we're not even going to talk about that. I mean, it's not the racing. I mean, the drivers, like how well they're doing, keeping the cars straight, because we've had green flag runs, really long green flag runs, like last, I don't even know, 10 races or so.
We've had good racing. It's just in a small town. Like, you see the front of the field, we have really good racing. No matter what the driver is, we've had really good racing. The caution things, you had bigger fields, that's been improved on.
I mean, we haven't had, I don't think the last time we had an overtime, I don't really know, actually. It's been a while.
Yeah, you just tricked me.
Yeah, I know I did. Whoopsie. Anyways.
Now I'm on rank on the final. If I race, we'll rank on 2 laps to go just to get overtime.
Yeah, good one, Eli. Yeah, let's see here. Homestead, no overtime. Bristol didn't have overtime. Neither did Charlotte, Dover, Pocono, Rockingham, or Phoenix. I think the last one was Nashville. That was all the way back in January. Are you kidding? Wow, okay. And it's now at the beginning of April, so wow.
Still missing a couple of guys guys in the playoffs, like Aiden Donahue. I don't know where he is. Former driver that came back, Dylan Banks. I know he's not racing for the points, but haven't seen him so far. But the filling for Sean Hiltwich tonight. Missing a couple others. I'm gonna just look at the list and see who else are missing.
Ashton Miller are also missing. Rich Cherry also usually always races. Not sure where he is. We're also missing Connor Havrilla. Unfortunately for him. Haven't seen Axel Smith.
This thing is like wrecking loose.
Wow. Great update.
You're welcome.
Sounds like a driving issue.
Just got here like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, missing all of Showtime. It must have been not made the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, really unfortunate though. I mean, sadly, very, very sadly, this car count is looking better than Homestead, which is just depressing. I mean, Michigan this next week, I think, will break this curse. I hope. Then Darlington, because we run throwbacks there. Everyone loves to do that. Watkins Glen always has a lot of cars. And then, of course, we got the Daytona regular season finale after that.
Everybody comes available at Daytona.
Yeah. Magically. All right, we'll be right back here in Kentucky. About 5 minutes left here in the warm-up session. right, we're back here in Kentucky. About 3 minutes left here remaining in the warm-up before qualifying will be getting underway here. Okay. Ooh, contact here. And around goes DeFilippi and Bryce Spencer. Oh my goodness. All right. I mean, only 18 cars, but there are a lot of really competitive drivers in this field. You see Braden Hunsicker still sniffing for that first win. Cameron Chandler, Payson Lindsay, Matthew White, Bryce Benson all have a chance for the win. Jamie McKinney, I wouldn't count him out either.
The guy that surprised me maybe a little low on the practice was, and I expect Cole Clausen to 15th. He's been running very good. I know he's part-time this year, not going for the playoffs, but he's had a really good season as a full-time driver.
Alrighty. Well, clicking down the time here for the warm-up in Kentucky. Not the smallest grid. Definitely not the largest. My goodness. Not even remotely close to the largest, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not Daytona Grand National Series.
You know, we don't have 44 entries tonight. Unfortunately,
Probably for the best.
And I'd honestly rather have that than this. Let's be real here. That's me personally, though. Eli Franklin probably thinks differently. All right. Here we go, I guess. Qualifying underway. We're missing a lot of cars as usual. It's starting to become an unfortunate theme. No, we can't shake this season. Well, I guess we're going to have to make do yet again. Here we go. Time to qualify in Kentucky. 5 minutes, 2 laps. All cars, single car qualifying here on the race, not on the racetrack at the same time, of course. Usual oval qualifying rules that don't include super speedways. Here we go. Who's going to win the pole? We will see. This 14 of Jacob Quayle on track, the U9 of John Butler, and the 8 of Cameron Chandler, the 99 of Payson Lindsay. Down the back straightaway goes McMillan. Was pretty decent in practice. Here comes Quayle. Needs a good night tonight with Ashton Miller not showing up for some reason. I don't know what he's doing. He is going to have a great night. The 99 Pace Lindsay also can have a good night with points. Here comes the 8 of Cameron Chandler. Just locked himself into the playoffs, or into the chase, I'm sorry. After his win last week in Miami. Was his second win of the year now. Your points leader. He's above the cut line and here's the 42 of Aiden Holes. The 7 of Matthew White coming on the racetrack as well. And the 70 of McMillan, the 09 of John Butler. So far, Quayle is the first car over the line. Here's the 1 of Zane Rahman. Now, I've been away for 2 weeks, and somehow iRacing hasn't fixed their issue with the horrible frame drop. God, man. These guys are unbelievable.
I
Anyways,
expect gold to be around a 31, close to a 31 flags. Payson Lindsay goes top of the board. Usually, what it's been recently is we've had about 10th or 2 quicker from practice to qualify, so we'll see if that is the trend that we have tonight.
Hunsicker fastest in practice. Is this his night? Can he qualify well? Maybe to get his first win of the year, which would be 14 races in for your defending series champion, which would be the second longest he's ever gone in a season without winning a race. The longest he's ever gone was back in season 1, and Payson Lindsay is so far top of the board. Matthew White is second. Here's Davy and Tobin, no laps in practice for the ETR car. The 77 Hunsicker across the line he goes. Fourth. Definitely could have been better for Braden. We'll see if lap 2 brings improvements. Here goes Cameron Chandler. Consistently now, as the season has worn on, been showing the best driver all year. He is the one to beat for the championship currently.
And White hits the wall after 4, so that's it. His qualifying's done. He'll start right now second.
Chandler P4. But Payson Lindsay, how about a lap by him? Wow, so far on position pole. Here comes Hunsicker bouncing across the line. And he will not improve.
We have a tie of Chandler and Hunsinger. It looks like it's going to stay like that. I guess Chandler's got it off a tiebreaker of some sort. That's kind of impressive to have a tie in qualifying.
So it seems like lap 2 is not going to be your good lap. I think lap 1 is your money lap. Here comes Bryce Benson. There's 71 of Cole Clausen, the 12 of Trenton Wilkin as well, and the 20 of Sean Rowe. Bunch of heavy hitters. And Davy and Tobin. There are a lot of heavy hitters left to go. I know it's a small grid, but man, is it competitive. There still are, what, like 8, 9 cars I can see realistically winning this race. Very sad Aiden Donahue and Ashley Miller aren't here, though, to make it a full 20. That would have been perfect. Not perfect, obviously, not even close, but still would have been a lot better than this. And we do want to see them back at the racetrack sometime soon. I don't know why they haven't been shown, or Ashton's been shown up. I don't know why Aiden hasn't been shown up. Here's the 9 of Bryce Benson, though. Zaner Mine is 10th. Entire field so far.
Benson goes 6th, and Benson goes 3rd. So pretty good lap day for Benson. See if he can, on this final lap, improve, which we haven't seen so far in qualifying. People improve. He tied with Matthew White for second fastest.
Whoa, he's loose. Nearly slams the wall here. Cole Clausen running slowly. Here's the 20 of Sean Rowe. He was 8th on lap 1. We'll see if he can improve. I don't think Bryce is going to improve at all up here. He nearly slammed the wall. He's 40 seconds left. He's loose again. He's nearly wrecking. This will be a bit worse lap, obviously. It will be 3rd. Can anyone know? We got 30 seconds left to go. Here comes Sean Rowe coming across the line to the checkered flag. Will he be the first? Wow, okay.
4th.
Good lap by Sean. Brings himself inside of the top 5. Here's the 12 of Trenton Wilkin now. Maybe your final driver to try to knock Payson Lindsay off pole. How about that for the driver of the 99 car? That is so impressive.
I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get there. It looks like Payson Lindsay's going to get pole. A guy that's below the cut line needs a good day to possibly get himself above the cut line. If guy's missing again, to have a chance to get himself in the cut line after the penalties and all suspensions to get himself back on the cut line. Very good qualifying for Payson.
And yeah, time runs out. That will mean Payson Lindsay is on pole in Kentucky. That is exactly the way he needs to start off his day. Well, we are live from Kentucky Speedway. I know yet another small grid, but it should be relatively big next week in Michigan. We're going to try to make it. We're going to work hard for that. But anyways, we're live in Kentucky. This is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series, Season 5 race from Kentucky Speedway. And let's go through your starting order here. Payson Lindsay, first pole of the season, a great bonus point for the driver entering 19 points below the cut line. Matthew White will start second. Got Bryce Benson starting in 3rd, 4 wins this season, and that includes 2 mile-and-a-half wins. He won the Charlotte 600, and he also won at Atlanta. Starting 4th is Sean Rowe, 2-time winner this year at Dover and Nashville. Starting 5th, impressively, John Butler. Your points leader and driver that just locked himself into the chase, Cameron Chandler, will start in 6th. Braden Hunsicker still looking for that first win of the year. His defending championship season will start 7th. Davy and Tobin currently enters 50th below the chase cut line. Starts 8th. You got Jacob Wells starting in 9th, and Aiden Holes rounding at your top 10 here. All right, Eli. Well, 134 laps to come. Eli and Landon, what can we possibly expect here?
I expect a decent amount of green flag running. Hopefully, green flag running the whole race if it's a small race count. We'll expect green flag pit stops, about 50 laps of fuel to on the tank. So we will have there'll be a little bit to see when the guys pick, as we've seen strategies where we've seen guys go from fifth to first, from hitting just extra like 5 laps early if the tires wearing very quickly.
And then you landed. Landon Johnson.
What?
What's up, man? How's your race gonna go?
Oh, I'm probably gonna run like 15th the whole time. Thanks.
All right, great.
I was taking a little nap before the race.
Same.
No, like when I was like pulling off pit road.
Oh, wow, unbelievable. Maybe this is why you don't have job security right now at ETR.
Good thing I own my own team.
Nice try. Anyways, here come your cars. You're gonna be rolling down pit road to check pit road speed. 134 laps tonight. 201 miles. Field window the about 50 to 55, like Eli said. Halfway break at the end of lap 6-7. Stage points, of course, awarded to the top 10.
Wow.
I mean, it is. Like, well, I'm not lying, am I? Anyways, here come your
You
cars
can
to
say
check pit road speed.
67, not 6-7, but you do you.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is professional, buddy.
Yeah, well, okay. Anyways, they'll come check their pit boxes and pit road speed. Race 14 of the year. How about Payson Lindsay on pole? He needs to have maybe even a win tonight. I mean, it's not a must-win situation for him to make the chase. Of course, I mean, even if you do win a race, it's not guaranteed you're going to be in the chase, obviously. That hasn't been a thing since season 1.
Win does give you a lot of extra points compared to second.
Yes, it does. All right, well, here we go. At first pole of the year for the driver of the 99. Team Chevy Motor Club has been bringing very fast race cars to these mile and a halves. They've won every single race, 2 with Bryce Benson, 1 with Cameron Chandler in Miami 2 weeks ago. Can they go 4-for-4 now in Kentucky? We will see. They got a great shot with Payson Lindsay. Also, Bryce Benson starts in 3rd, and Cameron Chandler, your points leader, starts 6th. Back there as well. Well, it might be a small grid, like I said, but man, a ton of drivers I could see winning this race. I mean, I'm looking at your top 10. I mean, throughout the entire grid, I could pick out maybe 9 I could see realistically coming to victory lane if things go their way. But we'll be back to a normal size grid next week in Michigan. But it's Kentucky here tonight. Race 14 of the Cup Series. Season 5 races remain before the chase. And a driver needing good points to make the chase is Payson Lindsay. He starts from pole, will lead the field to the green flag. Through the restart zone, we are racing from Kentucky Speedway. Let's go! Already almost 3 wide. Matthew White takes the lead. Lindsay back to second now, side by side with his teammate Benton down the back straightaway in the 3 and 4. Almost 3 wide further back. There you go. The 09 Butler in the middle. You got the 77 Hunsinger down low, and that 20 of Sean Rowe. And Matthew White's going to lead lap 1. They're all over the place. 3 wide action down the front straightaway here on the opening lap. Still almost 3 wide as they go back into 1 and 2. You see the 8 of Cameron Chandler to the inside. You get Davick and Tobin way up the racetrack in the 65. There's that 77 Hunsinger. He will try to get to the bottom to the bumper of Cameron Chandler. 3 wide further back. Oh, way up the racetrack goes Tobin. Again, 3 wide between the 70 McMillan, the 12 Wilkin and others down the front straightaway. On the opening 2 laps. Wild start here. Lindsay, of course, fell back to second, maybe even third. Here comes that 9 of Benson. Benson looks inside the 3 and 4 on his teammate for second. Side by side. Oh, you see Bryce really loose in the bottom. Added horsepower going to be hard to control. Also, it's a pretty hot day here in Kentucky, beginning of July in the south, so Temperatures, once we go to these southern races, at Darlington coming up, even though that's at night, of course Daytona also at night, going to still be pretty high. And even at Michigan should be pretty warm as well. Matthew White pulls out to an 8-10 second lead, though. Side by side between poles and that 14 of Quail, though. Back in the turns 3 and 4. 12 of Trenton. Whoa! Almost around, and he saves it. Great save by the 42 car of Aiden Holes. He will keep going in the right direction. That could have been really bad. Here on lap 5. Battle for second place still heating up between those two Team Chevy Moto Cup cars. Also here is Cameron Chandler working outside of Sean Rowe for 4th. Cameron marches his way through the field after starting outside of the top 5, which is something pretty rare for Cameron this season. But here he is looking for P4. And here is Bryce Benson to the inside of Payson Lindsay. He looks like he's got that spot made up. And Cameron Chandler at the same time will pass the 20 of Sean Rowe. And he proves himself. If he can get clear. Yes, he can. Up to P4. Rowe back to 5th. Got Hunsicker running in 6th. Tobin running in 7th currently. Mostly single file throughout the pack. Here's now Braden in the 77 looking outside of Sean Rowe. Braden was very quick in practice. Only qualified 7th though. Looking to take P5. Wall a little bit. There he goes, rolling momentum through 1 and 2. Almost the fence, almost hits that wall. Oh, we got a car loose on the back straightaway again. That was McMillan. In the 70, he will save it. Man, that was nearly a disaster for Ethan McMillan. Still coming to lap 7, Matthew White pulling away 1.3 seconds the gap up front for the 7 car. And now dabbing in Tobin, starting to put pressure on Braden Hunsicker here. Still early days here in Kentucky. I mean, Eli, how's the tire wear even looking like on lap 8?
Lap times for me about half a second off. I assume these guys are a little better than me, obviously, but I assume lap times are at least 2 to 3 tenths off already, not even 10 laps in.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a big day. A story of the day is we got a battle for P4 or 5 heating up yet again between Hunsicker and Rowe. And Braden going to try that middle groove and get a little bit loose though out of the back of the 77. Trying to carry momentum down the back straightaway. There's Tobin now to the bumper of that 77 Hunsicker. He gets a little bit loose up the racetrack. Tobin going to look to carry momentum here heading down the front stretch. Here Jacob Quayle battling with Max DiFilippi for 11th place.
Oh, there's Lane Johnson for the grass.
He will save it, looks like, in the 88 car. Drop down to 17th. In the wall, ahead of Jose Robert 1. Mostly single file throughout this pack so far. And Matthew White still holding up pretty nicely. Coming a 10 lap sled this time by in the 7th. Great way to start off his race. Took the lead from Payson Lindsay on lap number 1. Payson back to 3rd already. Here we go, battle between Hunsicker and Tobin. I mean, like I said, you look at this even top 7. These are 7 great race cars that could win this race, I think. Even I'm going to put John Butler in the category, Trenton Wilkin, maybe even Jay McKinney running in 10. These top 10 are so good. And that's what makes having a small grid kind of not that painful. And here we go, battle. Look at your 65, the rookie, dabbing and Tobin. Look at him.
McMillan's wrecking.
Around goes Ethan McMillan.
Oh, I don't know if that's a yellow.
Yep, it is. Caution is down for the first time on lap 12. Let's take a look at what happened here to bring out our first yellow of the day.
Well, having the Trent Wilkin, he is disconnected.
What? Oh my God. What happened to the 70 then? McMillan, yeah, just lost it, unfortunately, all on his own there. And I have no idea what did something happen to Trent?
I have no clue. It said it just popped on top, so he just shot off.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing. He just quit. That's. I don't know have to see later what happens. I don't know if it's some sort of issue with him personally or what, but.
But I assume most of these guys kind of pit road. I assume the fuel is windows closer to 50 than 50 to 55. You can get it to 55. We haven't heard anybody in the clutch so far using the clutch so far, so I see it's closer to 50. But fuel window at 67. If the guys pit here, they can be close to making it.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting to see here. So McMillan, good job keeping it out of the wall. He's got no damage on that car from the looks of it. Just single car spin, didn't hit anything.
Only 10 laps since these guys used the extra set of tires they got this weekend. So you have somebody stay out.
All right, so who is actually take an angle of that? Who was that? McKinney. That's interesting. All right, here we go. Get down to pit road. And here we are. I think those 2 tires, maybe, for the 7 of Matthew White. He'll be off pit road first. Second will be battle between Cameron Chandler and the 77 Hunsicker. Cameron gets it. 4 tires for Bryce Benson and Payson Lindsay. So that's gonna be interesting. The strategy call. 1 car stays out, 2 tires for a couple of others. So how will this work? And also remember, you're not going to be taking as much fuel. You don't really need it, I guess. You don't really need to stop for a full amount of fuel to make it to the end of the stage here. So I don't think that would really matter. But if you only took 2 tires, of course you can't get the full amount of fuel in the car. But Eli, now what's the fuel window look like on lap 14?
I would say, what about, if Lane Johnson could agree, I'd say about 2 to 3 laps short. I think that's about where we're at. I think we could see guys come down pit road here if 1 to green. But staying out here is a very interesting call for McKinney. He will have to pit. I guess he's banking anybody else will pit. We'll see.
I mean, he was running 10th, so I don't know. I mean, tire wear does mean a lot, so we could realistically see if this thing goes green, see a pit stop towards the end of this before the stage. Here we go. Can he choose the inside of the shoes?
There's just 3 guys at pit road topping off the field side to make sure
everyone went to the bottom on this choose cone.
Not everyone. I don't know what we're talking about. Everyone, nice try.
Buddy, there's like 4 cars on the outside. 5.
6. 7.
Okay. In the 2-6, Doug. The big 2-6.
Yep.
Let's leave that in the big 2-5.
We're going to restart here in lap 60.
Your commentator and announcer, everybody.
Yep. All right, so Matthew White will be restarting the outside of Newell and McKinney, who's on older tires, even though the other 3 took 2. White, Chandler, and Hunsicker. They got 4 tires. First score on 4 tires is Bryce Benson. So multiple different
How hot this day is, you gotta watch for wheel spin here if the leader. No tires, even the 2 tires, you gotta watch for wheel spin here and watch for some checkups here on this restart.
It'll be our first restart of the night on lap 16. After a single car spin by Ethan McMillan, he got it back going, didn't hit anything, and we're gonna come back to green this time with old tires in the front row. 2 tires on the outside, no tires on the inside. First 2 cars on fresh tires, 3rd row. Back to green, a good restart. How about that 01? He got away nicely. McKinney, he's clear. Side by side, back in a 1 and 2, you see White on the outside. Hunsicker, his teammate gets him a little bit loose there on the outside lane. White is sliding. Has to save it. He's gonna lose the spot to Chandler. Now here comes Hunsicker in the 77. Chandler washes way up the racetrack in front of that 8 and 7 car. 3 wide on the bottom. They split that 77. Here comes Bryce Benson, and here comes Matthew Wood back on the bottom. Benson also there, 3 wide. And McKinney is pulling away with all this racing. How about that?
That's kind of surprising in cold tires here. So this kind of shows if we get into an overtime situation, he can stay out and have a chance.
Oh! Watch the teammates. Here comes Benson, 4 fresh Goodyears on the 2 tires of Cameron Chandler. To the inside goes the 9, marches his way through the field, has 2nd place. And here comes Lindsay as well in 4. 4 tires looks like the call so far. I mean, you get an extra set, so why not? Here is Casey Lindsay, made up the spot. Oh, Cameron Chandler getting real tight now. Sean Road who's inside. 2 tires are now falling back. Somehow no tires are somehow winning so far with McKinney in the 01. He's still leading this race with Chandler and White falling back on 2. Oh, contact there, clearing himself as Davy and Tobin on Matthew White. Now, Sean Rowe's got that spot.
Now, I assume he's probably going to split the stage in half. I assume he probably hit around 30 to 33.
Tobin has this spot made up P5 on Cameron Chandler. These 2 had a really good battle in Atlanta a while ago. And here we go for the lead. Bryce Benson go to the inside. Should be a pretty easy pass. Old tires versus new tires, and Benson is your new leader. 3rd leader of the day. And here comes for a second Salani is McKinney on the bottom, and Pace and Lindsay looking to have that spot made up. Side by side down the front straightaway. For P2. And Pace in the P2. McKinney not giving up. He's going to make a crossover back to the bottom, back to the quarter panel of Lindsay. And they're going to still be side by side. Lindsay, though, gets a good momentum off the corner, and he will clear that 01. Here's the 20 of Sean Rowe behind him, the 65 of Tobin as well. Rowe running currently in 4th, Tobin in 5th. First side-by-side battle. Here's Hunsinger. He's fallen way back in the field. Now back to maybe even 12th. Side-by-side with DiFilippi. Strategy is not working out so far for Braden Hunsinger. Not sure what's wrong with that 77 car. And here we go. Sean Rowe again to the inside of that 01 McKinney. And his teammates Abby and Tobin looking to follow in line. Rowe. Oh, McKinney loose on the outside. Rowe's got the spot made up, and here comes Tobin. And Tobin has that spot. He's up to P4. Pretty wide further back, I thought. Matthew White also falling back through the fields. Cameron Chandler not doing too well either. Here's White, about to be passed for 9th. How about Max DiFilippi on the bottom?
Guys could be saving also. You also got to count that. They could be falling back a little bit just to save.
I didn't think about that. I mean, if you took 4, I don't know if you took enough fuel to make it to the end. I don't think so, actually. Nobody should be good. That's the thing. Nobody should be good to the end here. It should be at least a few laps short. I mean, Eli, have you gotten any chance to save?
I backed off about 2 seconds off the pack just so I don't have nobody around me to hit the clutch in turn 1 and 2, and I'm on pace to make it halfway through 67, 68. So you also got to account you can't just go at 0 across the line. You have to make it to the pit stop.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's not like this is the end of the race situation where you can do that. You still have a whole other half of the race to run. And here comes E71 of Cole Clausen looking for 11th place on Matthew Way. Matthew's teammate, Braden Hunsinger, has fallen to 14th. Constantly 15th battle side by side with Landon Johnson.
I want to see if you get on board with like Hunsinger and White here. Them falling back, see if there's possibly just backing off and saving.
I mean, we're gonna try to go on board here. I didn't actually. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, he's definitely not on the throttle as much as others. But he also is kind of fighting his race car. No coasting, though. But he definitely isn't picking up the throttle as much as even Ethan McMillan behind him. Here we go, Jacob Will at the inside of Max Stiffy. That's for 8th. He's got the spot made up. But Cameron Chandler is still running in 6th. He's on the same strategy as both White and Chandler. Or, I'm sorry, White and Hunsucker. Here is Sean Rowe beginning to catch his absolute best friend, the 99 of Payson Lindsay. Here goes Jacob Quill, the bumper of holes. You see Max Siffy goes way up the racetrack here in 3 and 4. Gets tight. Side by side back into 1 and 2. 09 of John Butler and that Ford on the bottom. Max Siffy was having a good run to start off his Cup Series return. Here's Jacob Quill, made up the spot, P7 on 8 holes. Holes will be back to his quarter panel. It looks like coming down the front straightaway now. Holes cannot fight back. Actually, maybe he's going to fight back. But looks like Quill is clear to P7.
Expect Kenny here probably the next 5 or so laps to down pit road.
Yeah, I mean, McKinney obviously going to be well short. Only car that stayed out under that last caution. And Johnson is now side by side with Matthew White. But Saint Ron also back there. Ron will go to the outside on the 7. By the way, Sean Rowe just got around Payson Lindsay for 2nd. And here comes Davian Tobin working on the 99 down the front straightaway. To the inside, battle for 3rd. Tobin needs probably a couple of wins to even try to make the chase here. It's minus 50 entering today, but 3rd place in the stage could be very nicely. He wants to keep that. And he's up to B3. Now, can Sean Rowe try to run down Bryce Benson? Here's the 9. Going to be heading down the front straightaway. I don't think I heard any saving from Bryce. We'll listen real quick, though. Oh, no. Bryce is coasting down it. That's pretty early. I mean, you still got, what, over 30 to go in the stage here. That's interesting.
Well, it's probably best to save early so you can push at the end so you don't have to worry about fuel at the end of the stage. But we've seen it before, races before, that people push it early and try to save weight, and guys will just lose a lot of time.
Having around the outside 3 wide for the 71 of Cole Clausen on both DiFilippi and John Butler. Butler and DiFilippi are still going at it. Racing their way down the front straightaway. Oh, a little bit goes Ethan McMillan behind them. Max Stiffy now, he's got Butler working his way to the outside yet again. If he can get there. Margin's just so close here in Kentucky tonight. Side by side on the front straight. Oh, we got door slamming Matthew White and Saint Roman. That's interesting. Don't see that every day between those two. Matthew runs 13th. McKinney's actually done a good job, still inside the top 5, and here comes Quayle on the bottom. He made up that spot, and also Hayden Knowles just past Cameron Chandler.
Also, the thing, if these guys fuel have to pit, these guys take no tires and take fuel only, like run all the way to the end, maybe like 5 to go in the stage, and then come to take fuel only, or these guys going to come in a little earlier so they can benefit off a fresh set of tires.
We'll see. So the 9 who is saving, Bryce Benson, he's starting to get run down by Sean Rowe for the lead. Not surprisingly. sure. I don't think Sean is really saving much, so, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be a tall order on the tires as well. But if you're leading and controlling the race, saving fuel like Bryce is doing, I don't think you're going to be burning up your stuff. But if you're a guy like, I don't know, 8 holes back here is trying to make every move possible, has a rare opportunity inside the top 10. He is taking advantage of that and burning up his stuff right now. Here's Holes going to pass the 01. Chandler, by the way, back to maybe even 10th side by side with John Butler. Oh, Holes is loose at the bottom, very sideways. Will save his race car. Also side by side, like I said, Butler for P9 on Cameron Chandler. He's got the spot made up. It looks like Cameron is lifting pretty early, just like Matthew and Braden were doing. So definitely some saving going down on that shed. Driver took 2 tires on the last pit stop. Out of the lead, beginning to heat up. Here we go, 0.3 of a second. The gap is between leader Bryce Benton and second place Sean Rowe. Again, Rowe is not saving, Benton is.
One thing that's benefiting these drivers that are saving, that extra horsepower is making it opportunity for these guys to coast a lot more into these corners.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, that makes sense. Again, the 9 of Benton goes back into 1 and 2. That 20 car of Rowe right in his tire tracks, though. Having Tobin falling a little bit further back there in 4th place. Bryce, Cameron Chandler. My God. Well, here's 6th place. McKinney actually getting past. How about Cole Clausen? Cole Clausen is ripping his way through the field right now. He is not saving at all. Oh, McKinney is loose! My goodness. Just trying to hang on to that thing. The oldest tires in the field right now. So, relatively loose, to say the least. We'd love a caution right now, no later. To lap 41 we go. 40 laps complete in Kentucky. Bryce Benson's still leading, but Sean Rowe trying to beat up that challenge behind him. Mostly single file throughout the field. Here is, I think, the 77. Hunsinger's returned up the quicker here, up to 12th now on DeFilippi. See that, but still running back in 14th. Landon Johnson to his inside.
Yeah, he is like wrecking loose, guys. Like he could, it looks like he could spin out at any time.
I mean, we were riding along with him a little bit there. I mean, I don't know if it seemed like he was saving or not, but he definitely looked pretty loose. Yeah, he's definitely hanging on that thing. My goodness. Ooh, Matthew White sideways. Back into 1 and 2. Now he's inside, but you got a car actually down pit road, dabbing in Tobin. Okay, how about this? This is an interesting strategy call right here. Eli, what do you think about this one?
I mean, if you're going to take 4 tires, it's not a bad idea, just so you can actually benefit on fresh tires. There's no point in taking 4 tires really, if like 10 to 5 laps to go in the stage, because you don't really benefit from it. So pitting early, taking tires helps a lot.
He'll fall laps down. He was running 3rd. So pretty
He
good
said,
track
I think he's
position.
having issues, guys.
With what?
I think he said something turned off, but I'm not 100% sure.
But he's back rolling again. He's okay. Coming off pit road. It looks like a pretty normal pit stop.
Matthew White was one of the guys that took 2 tires, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
He could be possibly having like a left rear tire, like going flat. With how loose he is.
I mean, if I was
like
Matthew
he
right here,
is.
my pit would be up at bottom of the out of the lead side by side. Chandra just cleared the 9 of Benson for the lead there. You saw it side by side.
Yeah, he is absolutely loose. I'm passing him. I'm slow, so like that left rear tire is probably killing him right now.
But your new leader is Chandra. Ran down Bryce Benson and picked him off. Here is the 7 is still just out of control, looks like.
McKinney's coming in this time.
All right, so that was expected. Early car that we knew it was gonna have to pit. And you look at the tire difference, the 65 of Tobin, my goodness, and here comes the 01. McKinney gotta get it down to pit road speed, he will. But that 65 of Tobin is gonna be ripping his way through the field again. We'll see if anybody else elects the pit here if they're not able to save enough. We'll watch it as this run goes on. The 22 is still remaining in the stage. The gap has opened up to 0.8 of a second. I don't think Sean Rowe is saving anything, but Bryce Benson definitely is. I wouldn't expect that 9 on pit road, but I might expect the 20. I don't know. Jacob Quill also has driven his way through the field. Same thing with Cole Clausen. They've been flying. And here's Tobin on fresh tires. He is now a lap down. He would not want to caution right now as McKinney, of course, just came off pit road here in the 01. Oh, we have a spinner. No, there's smoke. I believe Matthew White is slow again. He is having the ultimate struggle of the day. My goodness.
Will it be in the wall?
Oh! 31 up the racetrack. He has damage.
Yeah, he looked like he was loose too. He looked like Matthew.
White is now just falling. Yeah. Oh, and around goes Max Iffy down the front straightaway through the grass. Will this bring out a yellow? He's going to come back on maybe in front of the pack.
No caution so far.
He's out of the way. He's out of the way. No yellows. I think we're going to stay grass. We will. Okay.
I think it's just another guy that just burned his left rear off.
Well, now Matthew White doesn't have Sean Rowe too far back on him to lap him. How about that? Matthew White was leading this race earlier. Without the caution, he probably might still be leading. And here comes
I'm going to say Matthew White's head here. Yeah, Matthew White head.
All right. Oh, he's loose on pit road as well. Let's take a look what happened. It looked like he almost missed his pit stall. Oh, he slid. Oh, my God. Look at this. Over the line. I don't know if that's a penalty or not. Hit the cone and then went over the box.
Unsafe pit entry.
That's going to be detrimental to Matthew White, though.
We have a car stabbing and Tobin stopped on the track. I think he's been having issues with his engine going off, so he is stopped right in front of pit road.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Tobin, man. Here's White taking tires. There's Tobin now on. Yeah, I think he had the reset because of that. Wow. That's exactly what he did not need, and I think that's going to be night over, unfortunately, for Tobin. DTR has already lost 2 race cars. White is still sitting here serving his penalty now. That is not good news for the 7 car. Well, this race just got pretty interesting all of a sudden. Gap up front now 2.3 seconds between Sean Rowe and Bryce Benson. White's still sitting there trying to serve his penalty. Here comes Rowe. Put him, what would be 3 laps down. Here comes Steve Filippi. He's rolling off. And now White finally done serving his penalty with 3 laps down. Not even a free pass car either. Wide, almost down the front straightaway. My goodness, you guys are having a hell of a battle back here. So, obviously, things got really interesting all of a sudden. White, of course, had the pit again. Tobin now, mechanical issues, he's out. Second retirement of the day. Both 3TR. Here's Cameron Chandler, currently running in 8th. Now, Radiv Filippi damaged, but he's got fresh tires in the bottom. that 77 and trying to look for your leader. Here he is, Sean Rowe. 3.6 seconds the gap. Still not saving anything. I think Bryce is saving. Let's listen. No, Bryce is back full song here. But he, of course, has lost 3.5 seconds to Rowe. But can Rowe make it to the end? That's the big question.
I guess Hunsiker's trying to save again. Looks like he's off the pace again. Or it could be another tire like Matthew White.
Highline cars, of course, fell back on this run.
But he was one of the guys that also took 2 tires.
There he is in the 77. We'll see if he pits. I mean, that 2-tire strategy, I don't think it's working out at all. These drivers have to be really mad of how this strategy has gone. 2 tires. And oh yeah, great. Oh! Around goes the 77! Down the front straightaway. Caution is going to be coming out here. That was an odd spin. We're going to have to take a look at that.
I think it was like McMillan earlier. I think he just spun out like the 70 car did earlier. Just got loose.
Let's look.
I will say, if you're on old tires and the tires are really old, 2 tires, even just having the throttle down the straightaway slightly turning can make your car spin out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was nothing more than that. Unfortunately for Braden Hunsiker, he gets in the grass. Let's take a look. Well, that's
with that happening almost with the leaders, he will go a lap down, and he won't get the free pass, so it'll probably be McKinney getting the free pass.
Wow. The leader was right there, Sean Rowe, and he couldn't get fired up in time. He tried desperately, but he was stuck in the grass at the rear, reverse it. Wow.
And based on, if we did go green, Payson just said that he was 0.5 to the good, and he was ultra saving. So it would have been very interesting if he did go green. I assume everybody would come down and take 4 fresh tires.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
McKinney should get the free pass. If that was Matthew White, I'd say I'd get the wave around. At least get 2 laps down. He will probably do that, I would have to imagine. Oh, Payson Lindsay stays out? Okay. Aiden Hole stays out as well.
Like 5 cars just stayed out.
We're gonna have some flashbacks.
Well, a couple of the cars are a lap down, so that doesn't really count. But here they come. Payson
also,
Lindsay.
that is after the pit stops, you need to check if them staying out. Will Matthew White still get the wave around?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think so. It's the leader who pitted. So I think so.
I wonder my car won't turn. I got 22 seconds of damage.
Here we go. 4 fresh good tires. Looks like for everybody here. Sean Rowe going to roll up pit road first. Maybe. Yes, he will. Benton will be second. Quayle, how about him third? 4th for Hunsiker. 5th for the 71 at Clausen. Here goes Cameron Chandler and others rolling off pit road behind them. So Aiden Holes and Payson Lindsay stay out. How is this going to work out? They are on... compared to the rest of the fields here, I don't understand this strategy, Eli, at all.
I really don't either. Not just field 1 is close, and 2 tires. I mean, you're on 40-lap old tires, and the lap times are off by, I think it was close to 2.5 seconds. So,
yeah,
tires is. I mean, wheel spin's gonna be a factor on this restart. I don't know about the strategy here of Payson, because we've seen what happened if Payson Lindsay takes 2 tires and stays out last the leader before.
I mean, we saw how quick Davian Tobin was on fresh tires, and then everybody. That was a good view we had there. I don't think White gets the wave around. Wow. Coming to the shoes. Lindsay goes inside, obviously, outside for the 42, so we'll be the front row in those old tires.
We'll say one thing about, oh boy, that was close to landed. I was going to say, Hunsiker, he'll get the free pass here, so, and it's going to be very important. If we get another caution, that might be ahead of Felipe, because that doesn't happen, then actually Felipe, no matter what, will get more laps back if you have more cautions, because he's 3 laps down. So him and Matthew White are 3 down, so if we get another caution after Hunsiker's a free pass, and Matthew White's behind, Maxie is nice probably open.
So we're going to restart with 9 to go here in this stage. So, I mean, they're going to lose probably like 2 seconds a lap. Lindsay and Holes. We're going to 18 seconds back. If they don't crash. My goodness, I don't get this strategy. Like, this is a net loss. Just even looking at it right now. I don't understand this to be impossible in that game.
I'm getting flashbacks of the Dover restart. I hope that's not what happens.
Yeah, I mean, Dover is a little bit more known for those kind of things, so hopefully we don't get the same thing here. All right, well, old tires, 40-lap old tires in the front row. How will that fare with fresh tires all the way around behind them? Coming back to the green in Kentucky. Mason Lindsay and Aiden Holes. 9 to go on the stage. Here we go. Surprisingly, oh, Aiden Holes did not go whatsoever. Lindsay did, but he is going to be swallowed up back at a 1 and 2 here in a minute. And that 20 car, Sean Rogue is to the bottom of him. Here he goes, easily going to clear him. Not even a question. Holes already lost almost back to outside the top 5, almost outside the top 10 indeed. Here we go, side by side. Lindsay falling back again on the outside lane. Got his teammates, the 9 and the 8 on the bottom. And Jacob Whale there up, and he goes up the racetrack back into 3 and 4. Yeah, this is gonna, oh! Man, he almost lost it. And it also is, it's like you're on ice with these older tires. Go back into 1 and 2. Here is, look at the 09 just roll around Payson. This is a horrific strategy call by driver of 199. Don't understand the strategy at all.
If he would just took tires, he'd probably at least get a couple of stage points. Him not taking any tires, there's a chance he won't get any stage points. If him below the cut line, this is not a great call.
I don't exactly know who his Payson spotter is this week, but clearly they didn't decide to make a good strategy. And he's probably not going to get stage points, like you said, already back to 10th and has more spots to lose.
I doubt he'll be the spotter next week, but Payson wins his spotters this week.
Yeah. Anyways, up front, the side by side here, by the way, between John Butler and Jacob Will. This is for 4th. Got 7 to go on the stage, coming to 6 to go this time by. Door to door down the front straightaway between Butler and Quayle. Quayle around the outside. He's had a great day up to the P4. Here is the gap, about half a second between Sean Rowe and Bryce Benton. Third place is Cameron Chandler. White, of course, still trapped 3 laps down. So is Max Dippy. That's not even for the free pass, these two. Let's look at Matthew White. There he is behind Braden Hunsinger. 3 laps down right now. Need a miracle to dig himself out of this hole. So unfortunate for him. Here's that 66. How about Eli Franklin? He's at the top 10. Incredible day so far with the 66 in here. Loose on the outside, side by side down the back straightaway is that 09 of Butler and Jacob Quayle. Going at it. Man. And Butler has a spot made up. 2P4 he goes. More to go in the stage this time by. And Rose starting to pull away from Benton and Chandler behind them. Battle for second. Here comes Bryce Benton. Sorry, here comes Cameron Chandler. With 3 to go on the stage. Pressuring his teammate Bryce Benton. I don't think Cameron really needs more points at this point. But it can't hurt to have more, I guess.
Never.
No, you know that very well, Landon Johnson, let's be honest.
How's that?
Hey, Landon, are you about to get your first stage points in God knows how many years?
I know!
Wow,
at least it's like season 3. Don't jinx me.
Oh, battle for second. Benton Lewis back into 1 and 2 with 2 to go on the stage. His teammates going at it. Also, great stage points if he finished there. P5 for Jacob Quayle. He needs that. And yeah, John Butler would be also a great day for points. P4 in the stage. If he could finish there. For John Butler would be a nice gap. Put him over. He coming to 1 to go on this stage this time by for Sean Rowe, looking for another chase point to go along with 10 other stage points. Second place still going on. Chandler will try the outside through 1 and 2 on Benson. Actually, Benson got pretty tight there. Washed up the racetrack. Here comes Chandler. Down the back straightaway, has one more final shot for a stage point. Go to the outside through 3 and 4. He's there on the 9. Coming to the green, white checkered flag. Sean Rowe's going to win the stage. Here we go, side by side for second. Oh, we get put in the wall nearly. It's going to be Benson second, Chandler third, fourth for Butler, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. The caution will come out. All right. So Rowe wins the stage. Benson second, Chandler third. McMillan got barely sixth on his teammate Cole Clausen. And how about that? Stage points for Landon Johnson and Eli Franklin. A lot of drivers missing out on stage points. Most notably, Payson Lindsay. I mean, Payson finished 12th here, guys, so I would say a pretty bad strategy call. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
Yeah, not a big fan. Not a big fan of the strategy. And also, I mean, you could say that he saved a set of tires, but having still drivers that did pit had 3 sets of tires. That's still too much sets of tires with how much is left in the race and how much green flag running he's had so far.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We've had all green flag running, basically.
So there would be only one more scheduled pit stop in this race. I mean, usually if this is a 4-set race, that is not a bad call because you do have that extra set waiting for you if you would need it. But of course, there's not really a need for that today. Because we get an extra set of tires. All right, well, should see everyone back down pit road here in a minute. Everyone should take 4 fresh Goodyear tires, as much fuel as possible, and that'll set us up for the second half of the race. Pretty interesting first half, but Sean Rowe ends up with the stage victory. He gets his, let's see here. Going to be Sean's 12th stage point, or chase point of the season. All right, here we go. Leaders all will roll down to pit road. I don't think anyone will actually, I don't think you would take the wave around here. Especially if you got no more guaranteed cautions coming up with a long run to the end. Here they come, down the pit. So everyone will pit here. Braden Hunsiker gets the free pass, so that's important for him. 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Stop out of the 9 of Benson, but Rose looks like he's going to beat him off. Second will be Benson. Third, Chandler, 3 wide all across the line. We'll be right back here in Kentucky.
Wait, did you take 2 tires?
No.
I was gonna say you got a lot of spots for pit road. I thought you took 2. So.
No, I'm still behind everybody. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm still in 9th.
Oh, well, I stayed and picked the extra. I'm thinking of taking no tires because we didn't run a lot there, and then pitting early with green flag run, but we'll see.
Man, it'll be okay. There's still 2 more sets, and I don't think we're gonna have an overtime unless somebody spins out at the very end.
We're getting the halfway break here at Kentucky Speedway. I think we're coming to the shoes this time by. Rowe goes inside, outside for the oh God. Chaotic shoes. Oh, we're 3 wide, nearly contact there in the shoes. That was an interesting juice cone right there. So ready for the second half of this race. Gonna be over halfway now, 1 lap 72. So guys, what do you guys think we're gonna see in this second half coming up?
Probably the same as the first half. A lot of green
I think
flag runs.
I think we there's a good chance we go green here all the way to the end. And if we do, it'll be interesting to see when these guys come up to rotate this last set of tires. If these guys, it may be guys near the middle, probably 5th to 10th, might hit 5 to 10 laps earlier than the leader and try to jump him and try to defend. And might see some guys stay out longer for a long run with fresh set of tires.
We'll see. Should be interesting. See if we get any more cautions in this race coming up. Maybe this could be the final restart. Who knows?
If we do get a couple more yellows, it's very important. Matthew White is in front of Maxi Felipe for at least his first caution.
So
if we get another one, because they're
White,
2 laps down.
Yeah, White and DeFelipe, by the way, both stayed out to take the wave around. So that's something to know. All right, here we go. Pace car on pit road. Matthew White would love 2 more cautions here coming up. That would put him back in the lead lap. Well, actually, I don't know if it would. Got to battle with that free pass with DeFelipe. Here we go. Coming back to the green flag on lap 72. Back to green yet again. And a great restart by that 20 car. That 9 of Benson did not go at all. He's got Cameron Chandler for second on his inside. Side by side back into 1 and 2. Not a good restart at all by the 9 car, but he will roll the outside here. Trying to hang on to second, door to door. He actually does a nice job getting momentum down the back straightaway. He's also got to run on the 20 of Sean Rowe. Pulls to the inside really aggressively, but he's there. Side by side with the lead. What a move by Benson. All the way on the bottom. Slides way up the racetrack. Almost a slide job. And clears for the lead.
Felipe and Matthew White made contact. Matthew White had a great save.
That's unfortunate for White, though. Still trying to hang on. But Benson now leads the race. Sean Rowe to the outside. Got the 8 of Chandler sliding up the racetrack again. He gets tight at the back end of the gas. Rowe back to second, but what a move by that 9. Unbelievable. And how about Ethan McMillan? What about that 4th place run by him? How is this happening? That 70 car. He spun out earlier in this race. And here we go. Looking outside, the 8 of Cameron Chandler for second on Sean Rowe. Ethan McMillan having maybe his best cup run ever in the 70 car. Side by side for P2. Look at Cameron Chandler working on the outside of the 20 car of Sean Rowe. Cameron looking for back-to-back wins. And he's got second made up. Rowe, not a good restart at all. I mean, he got away really nicely, the best car in the field, but the first 2 corners lost it all. Not sure what happened. He's back to 3rd. Still, of course, long ways to go in this race. I'm assuming guys are way off to make it to the end.
Yeah, no one can make it to the end here. It's probably about 15 laps short. Unless you are the saver of the lifetime, you cannot save it up.
Look at Ethan McMillan, 3rd place here on Sean Rowe. How did he just do that? What is all of a sudden that's in that 70 car? They must have put magic tires on the last pit stop. He just passed a 2-time winner this season. I know he's a Grand National points leader, but obviously the Grand National Series is nowhere near competitive. Not competitive as the Cup Series, let's be real here. Yeah, and he's now back to 7th in points there anyways. So, really impressive. Yeah, how about Hunsinger's off to P6 after getting the wave around, or free pass, I'm sorry. Perfect start for Braden.
Yeah, like Eli was saying, Ethan, the latest pit stop, like with that fuel tank, about 50 laps, the latest pit stop we'll see is 120, so probably like 105 to like 115.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. If we would go green to the ends here. Oh, here's Pace and Lindsay running Aiden Olsen way up the racetrack. This is the battle for the final spot inside the top 10.
I was going to think Matthew White has to actually pit earlier because he took the wave around, so it could be in a bad hole if he pits, goes another lap or 2 down, then another caution comes out.
After a great start tonight where he led the first 11 laps, it has been a horrific day for Matthew White. Couldn't have gone really any worse, the driver of the 7. I mean, awful pit tires he had on his race car, had to pit under green. Then he, by the way, he had a penalty, unsafe entry there. Another big hole, and now he's 2 laps down. But it does have the free pass, so he would love to see a caution.
Yeah, DeFelipe's really slow back here. These tires are really killing him. He's getting very loose at the entry of these corners.
On lap 79, Bryce Benson now leads. Second is Cameron Chandler. Third is Ethan McMillan. What a run, though, by this 70 car in that Ford Taurus. He's been outstanding. How about the 01, another Ford Taurus of McKinney? Ford has not gone victory lane this season. They, of course, don't have the driver count, really. Chevrolet has a lot of drivers. Ford really does not. But still, it was would love to get their first win of the year. Could this be the night if things go their way? Here is Pace Lindsay made up 9 on Cole Clausen.
As Filippi now pit road, so Matthew White doesn't really have to worry now about actually Filippi trying to pass him and a caution comes down, him not getting a free pass.
Battle for the lead is starting to heat up, though, between Cameron Chandler and Bryce Benton. And there's this 31 on the pits for Chandler Wilson Racing. Not a great first cup race back for Max. Here comes the 8 of Chandler, though, starting to reel in that 9 car. Cameron hasn't been the quickest car really all day long. Hasn't led a single lap in this race. Now 81 laps into it, but he is starting to come on strong here in the second half. McMillan trying to get third place away from that 70 of Sean Roche trying to pass McMillan for third. I don't know what's in that 70 car. Halfway all of a sudden, here we go for third place though, Sean Roche on the bottom. But man, what an incredible first 10 laps of this run he had. And Rose got the spot made up. I mean, the last time I saw Ethan McMillan run this well was, I think, season 2. Maybe season 3. At Kansas, which he's so good at. Battle lead, though. Here we go, side by side to the outside. Our teammates. Oh, Chandler gets loose. Rowan, love to see these two battling, though. Benton has fallen off. He's got his teammate Oliver, his back bumper for the lead. Chandler goes outside through 3 and 4. Gonna carry momentum. He's up by the wall and have a run coming down this front straightaway. Neither you two, if you're not in the battle, has Dirty Air felt better today than it has in past weeks?
I mean, it's still a factor, but like I don't think it's as bad as it has been, like, say, like at Bristol or somewhere else.
I don't think it's been too bad so far. Really, it hasn't affected. It's mainly been what's affected these cars the most has been side by side being the inside car, because if you try to just, you can't slide all the way up to the wall next to the car, your back end wants to kick out and you want to spin out.
And back at a 1 and 2, Rowe isn't really gaining anything back there in the 20 car after winning the stage. Here is Hunsicker in the 77. How about James McKinney up to 4th? Here is Hunsicker looking for P5 on the great running Ethan McMillan. A bunch of Ford Tauruses there with that Chevrolet Monte Carlo of Braden Hunsicker. 3 of them to be exact.
It looks like we're now in a field window, so if you hit now and get a full tank, you should be good to go to the end. No, with tires make it, probably not.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's for sure.
It's going to be at least another 20 laps, I would say.
Ooh, Ethan McMillan almost
if we
lost
go
it. McMillan now slow down the back straightaway after getting really loose. Fortunately, all of a sudden, his good run maybe beginning to go away here. Mason Lindsay is P9. Go side by side for 10, 8 Coles, and then 71 of Cole Clausen. Coles gets really loose. Matthew White would love to see that 42 car on the wall, not because he doesn't like Aiden Coles, but because he wants to see a caution. Well, maybe he doesn't. I don't know if he likes Aiden Coles, actually. So he might want it for 2 reasons. Oh. He might get that. My goodness. Here we go once again for the lead. That 9 car, though, has been doing a good job holding on to the lead with Cameron Chandler hounding his rear bumper. Lead Bryce has led just about the most laps today. Rowe has been the second on that. Matthew White led some laps earlier as well. Bryce Benton looking for win number 5 on the year. He's already 2.5 miles this year. This would be his 3rd. Team Chevy Motor Club has been pretty much unbeatable in the mile and a halves. I mean, I wouldn't say unbeatable yet, but I wouldn't say they've been far and away the best. Bad corner there for Cameron Chandler, way up the racetrack, almost about 2 tenths. Got really tight. But remember, Sean Rowe was in line to win Atlanta until some late race shenanigans happened. Yeah, that. So that all went down for him. 45 laps to go, though, here in Kentucky. Here we go. McKinney has pressure from Huntsicker. Don't look now, but Braden Huntsicker is one of the faster cars on the racetrack. Was fastest in practice. Hasn't seen that speed all day long. Was strapped a lap down after spinning out. But Braden is not looking too bad. The 77 car needs that win today, which would be his first of the year. I mean, it's shocking that Braden Huntsicker now, we're 13 races into the season. This is race 14. He still has not won a race this year after winning the championship last season. His last win was Dover last season. He also won back-to-back races there at Talladega there a week prior. Or might have been the other way around. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Sean Rowe isn't going away.
Oh, somebody spinning him. Somebody spun down a pit road.
That's McMillan. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's down in the grass. Mowing the grass here in Kentucky. The ground crews are going to like this. What a great run he was having.
It's going to give him a penalty, too.
Yeah, that's going to certainly probably put him a lap down after all this.
It sounds like it's off Payson Lindsay's nose, which is very unfortunate for him.
I do want to try to get a look at that if we can really quick. See what happened to the 70 and McMillan, how he got loose like that officially. So let's watch here. Well, Payson was pretty far back. He washed up the racetrack. No, Payson made no contact at all with McMillan. It was just McMillan losing it on his own. He wasn't even line. I mean, I'm sorry, Payson wasn't even close enough to make him aero loose either. Sean Rowe is beginning to run these two down. Here he comes for second on Chandler. That 20 car. Long run pace seems to be the best for him. Saw that in the first stage. We're seeing that now. We've had 3 cautions so far today. 2 for incident. I'm not trying to curse anything here. I'm just putting it out there so it doesn't happen as we come 40 laps to go. I mean, the only good thing about the small field count, we don't have 35 cars like we did a lot earlier this season at mile-and-a-half races. Now because people decided that this car sucks. Yeah, we're not going to comment that on that exactly right now, but we will eventually. The only good thing is that these races, Cup Series, have been a million times cleaner. I mean, there aren't, exactly any back markers anymore, I feel like.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm being nice.
Cole Clausen's coming down pits.
So that's your first one. And then the 71 car, here he comes.
Kind of early.
Yeah, I would say so myself as well. But we'll see if he forces anybody's hand to come to pit road.
But he also have a lot more time to use his 4 tires.
Here we go, maybe for second, starting to heat up between Sean Rowe and Cameron Chandler. Benson's pulling back away from the 8. And Rowe would love to get around this 8 car pretty quickly. Try to find some clean air on his nose. Coming down this front straightaway on that 8 car. Where Matthew White would not want to see a caution is right now, because now he is not the free pass car after Clausen pitted. laps. That 20 though, starting to. We got Eli Franklin pitting in the 66 on lap 98.
Oh, caution's out.
Caution's out.
Oh,
It's
and
pacing.
And around goes Lindsay on pit road. Brings out our 4th yellow of the night. And like I said, exactly what Matthew White did not want to see. That is going to be a hard pill to swallow for Matthew White. That happened maybe, I don't know, 5 laps earlier. He gets the free pass. But now, he will get nothing. Let's take a look how Pace and Lindsay went around here. That changes it a lot. Wow. Up the racetrack in the 90. Oh, he just lost it. That's the 3rd car we've seen lose it in 3 and 4. Well, twice from Ethan McMillan. Now once for Pace and Lindsay. Well, that changes just about everything. Caution now out on lap 100 after that long run that we just saw. I don't know if we can call it a long run. Definitely not the longest run of the day. About 30 or so laps. So, well then, that changes a lot. Okay, so we'll see what happens now. This is exactly also what Cole Clausen and Eli Franklin don't want to see here. Yeah, you can speak in this firsthand now. Worst time to have a caution.
Yeah, Cole Clausen's not as bad for me. I was thinking just driving through the pits and taking 1 lap down. I think it's maybe pit, take the wave around, be on fresh tires, but I pitted and now 2 laps down. So we get the wave around, be 1 lap down, but it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. Matthew White has no chance to wave around. He's got a pit. There's no way that thing can hold up anymore. All right, here come all. Yeah, he's staying out now because he's lapped down. But here come all your leaders down pit road. Clausen would get the free pass anyways. We'll see if he pits again. I don't know. So this could be an important stop. Will we see any gainers or losers here on the pits? Benton's been probably the quickest on the pits all day long. Even though he hasn't come off first, but he's been relatively the most gainiest driver. Oh, and Rowe has to back it up. That's going to help him. Here we go. 4 fresh tires for everybody. Not exactly what Sean Rowe needed to see there. Here we go. Bryce Benson. Good stop by Chandler. Cameron, oh, Benson had a bit of a bobble, and Cameron Chandler, who got it? I believe it was Benson. Yeah, that was close. He had a bit of a bobble. Some sort of mischief there. Chandler gets 2nd. How about Hunsicker 3rd? Rowe falls back to 4th. I do actually want to listen and ride along. That was it. It just looked like he bogged down for like a split second, but it was enough to almost lose him the lead. Let's listen. Maybe some wheel spin. I don't know. But he wins it anyways. Doesn't really matter at that point. 34 laps to go. Restart, I think 32 to go. In Kentucky. Alrighty. Well then, so we'll see if anything changes up front here. How about, I don't want to speak now, but how about Braden Hunsicker running a 3rd? Gained a spot on pit road. He looked very quick on that last run, so we're going to have to watch out for him. Here, coming to the shoes. Benson goes inside. Outside for the 8 car of Chandler. Inside, outside, Hunsicker Rowe. White is going to stay out. He is going for desperation mode right now. Matthew White's perfect situation right now. They wadded up at the front of the field. Just another caution, and he gets at least the wave around with the free pass.
I have fresh tires, so as long as I stayed ahead of him, he has to get a quick yellow because I'm on way fresher tires than what he is. He's actually come down pit road now.
Oh, alrighty.
Very interesting as we're coming back to green.
Yeah, I don't know about this one for Matthew White. This is probably going to hurt him even more. Well, here we go. Going to restart with 32 laps to go in Kentucky. The 9 and the 8 on the front row. Bryce Benson, Cameron Chandler. For number 2 will be Braden Hunsicker and Sean Rowe. 2 Fords in the front 3rd row with John Butler and the 01 of McKinney. They got Quayle, Holes, Lindsay, and how about Landon Johnson in the top 10. Pace cars in. 32 remain from Kentucky Speedway. Starting to get towards the end of this thing. Here we go. Look, waiting in the restart box. Who will go first? It will be the 9. Back underway. And it's a decent restart for Bryce Benson. Can Cameron Chandler get clear to second? I don't know. Here comes Hunsicker on the bottom for P2. Side by side. Chandler up the racetrack. He gets good momentum though. He should, I would assume, be able to clear. Miss he is. Oh, nearly wrecking to the back. They almost got together. Everyone saves it. Chandler's got to run. Back into 3 and 4 in the 9. They'll have momentum coming down this front straightaway. The 3 wide for the back. But here comes Chandler on the bumper of his teammate. Going back to 1 and 2. Trying to find any sort of clean air on his nose. Oh, but up the racetrack goes Benson. Here he comes, side by side, down the back stretch for the lead. Cameron Chandler on the inside of Bryce Benson. Teammates door to door. Coming at 30 to go this time by. Benson has to almost lift. He gets loose, and Cameron Chandler now leads in Kentucky. For the first time all day. Your points leader back on top.
I'm very interested. Did Matt might have enough time to take tires and stay a late lap? Because he just hit the fastest lap of the race.
Oh, I don't know. But here comes the 9 all over the back bumper of that 8 car. Down the back stretch they go yet again. He's not giving up. He's not backing down. He's still to the inside on Cameron Chandler. These two race harder. That 77 Hunsicker can be there to strike. Cameron Chandler looking for win 3 on the year. Oh, it would be his second win in the row, but he's loose, and Bryce Benson is back. Here he comes, down the back straightaway, all over his bumper. In the wall, and it goes Chandler. He's there to his corner panel. Gets him tight. Side by side in the front straightaway. Two teammates absolutely going at it. Door to door back into 1 and 2. Benson on the bottom. Chandler on the outside lane. Benson drives it in deep. Still not clear. Now he is re-clear. But he gets loose and they're both in the wall. Oh my goodness. Here comes Hunsicker. They both slam the fence. How much damage will that give him? I see some damage on Cameron's and Bryce's cars. They are both damaged. And here comes the 77, a run down the front stretch. Where will he take it? That's a big shot by both the 9 and the 8. I don't know if that's going to just come out cosmetic damage or maybe something underlying. We'll see. Teammates slam each other in the wall. Now they gotta hope that their cars can survive to the end of this race. On lap 109 this time by. Everything looks okay now for these two. Kind of just nose to tail. Third place Hunsicker still just waiting back there for something to happen. Chandler going to go up the racetrack. He's going to have some momentum coming down this front stretch. Where is it going to go? "25 laps to go in Kentucky to decide this one." There for Benson. Now he goes outside through 3 and 4. You'll see Chandler try to use the bottom. Rowe is falling back as well on McKinney. Top 3 separated by about 6/10 of a second altogether. That's a good couple of corners there by the 9 of Benson. He pulls away from Chandler. Hunsicker now will go to the bottom. Chandler going to get more momentum. It looks like here. Trying to have a run down this front straightaway. He does. Don't think he's close enough to try to make a move down into 1 and 2 though. these top two absolutely going at it. You wouldn't think they were teammates after they just slammed each other in the wall there. But my goodness, been fun to watch. Cameron's not done yet. He's got another run coming down the front straightaway. These two have won every mile-and-a-half race this season, combined. Probably on track to do that again, unless they get together maybe again. That probably would open the door to Braden Hunsaker and maybe even Sean Rowe. Everyone, of course, good through the end on fuel. No more of that saving. It's all go time for the win. Ooh, in the wall a little bit goes Benson. Here we go. Run down the front straightaway for Chandler. He's closer. But can he find clean air? Benson is definitely starting to struggle. That 9 car on the back end you can see is a little bit loose. More planted in the ground is that 8 car of Cameron Chandler. He goes up the racetrack at 9 through 3 and 4. Lets Cameron go on the bottom. Maybe that might get Cameron a little bit tight. He is to lose about a 10th. I don't know where Matthew White is. There he is, running all by himself back there. 20 laps to go.
He was able to take 4 tires and feel and stay 1 lap down. So if he can find the way to catch up to me, he's 14 seconds back and get a yellow. He can be back on the late lap.
We would have to see, of course, a caution. We've only seen 4 today. And 1 was from the stage break. The other 2, well, we have 2 for spin. Well, actually, I don't think all 3 were spins, actually. So Braden Hunsaker spin, Ethan McMillan spin, and Payson Lindsay spin all of a turn 4. The exact same spot on the racetrack. That could happen again, who knows? The gap staying pretty consistent between Benson and Chandler. I mean, dirty air is still a factor in this car. I don't think we're really ever going to get rid of that until iRacing is somehow, I don't know if they're ever going to update it or not. And now that's a good lap there by Benson, gained about 10th. Pulling away from the 8. 18 laps remaining here in Kentucky. Hunsaker still runs in 3rd. Trying to run down that 8 car of Cameron Chandler for 2nd place. Sean Rowe back there in 4th. After winning the stage, I thought he wouldn't be the favorite, but lost the lead for some initial restart right after the stage break, and really hasn't been able to recover. Back to 4th place right now for the 20. How about it? Jamie McKinney running inside the top 5 today. Really great run with the 01 car. Former Cup Series winner in Martinsville. Great points today for John Butler, P6. Payson Lindsay, this is not the greatest points today he could have had. Stayed out in the stage for some reason, didn't get stage points. Currently runs 7th, which isn't bad. Nathan Hole's having a good run in 8th. Jake Quill, respectable day P9. And how about Ethan McMillan still holding on to a top 10 spot? That 70 car has good pace today. 16 laps to go in Kentucky. Bryce Benson starting to ease away with that gap. Looking pretty solid for the driver of the 9 up front. And I think it is a good time to go to crank it up to hear these Gen 4 cars rip around Kentucky with 15 laps to go. as they come off turn 4 to 10 laps to go in Kentucky. Bryce Benson the gap now, 8/10 of a second over Cameron Chandler in P2. Third place, Hunsinger, still having a great run and a great recovery after being a lap down when he spun out. Fourth place still is Sean Rowan. Fifth place still is Jamie McKinney. I feel like one of the only things that could change how this running order is going in the front of the field right now is a caution. But you never know, Payson Liz has already been the cause of caution. Here he is running with Jacob Quayle in P7. Quayle is not giving up on this battle. He is there trying to get the spot P7 away from Payson Lindsay. Lindsay is also loose, so like I said, keep that in mind to the end of this race. Who knows? It's not over till it's over. Like I said, we also haven't had overtime since Nashville in January. So, yeah, 9 to go. Bryce Benson looking for win number 5 on the year. Came into this season 2 years, no wins. Oh my goodness, these two are just going at it. And already has 4 wins of the year, and including a Daytona 500 and a Charlotte 600. Has won every crown jewel this year. We'll see if he even could win the Southern 500 in 2 weeks. And here comes Quayle, the inside of Lindsay, side by side for what is 8 or 7th. Payson needs every point he can get. Hasn't been the greatest of point saves for Payson after starting on pole. He thought he could do a lot more than what he did today. Some smoke, guess not. Matthew White, though, find him. There we go. Not a good night at all for Matthew. Unfortunately, still trapped 1 lap down. After starting second, taking the lead in lap 1, leading the first about 11 or 12 laps, it's been all downhill since. The gap, almost a second, with 9 of 7 laps to go here at Kentucky. Bryce Benson just does not need to see a caution here. He might be on track for win number 5 on the year. He's just so impressive for the driver that had never won a race in the Cup Series entering this year after 2 full-time seasons. He bounced out of the playoffs in round 12 last year as well. This year is a whole lot different. Found his groove, found victory lane, and been one of the winningest drivers in the league at this season after basically never going to victory lane at all. Cameron Chandler getting desperate, running the outside for 3 and 4 here. I don't think it would work. He's going to lose time. Good effort, though, by Cameron. Only a few laps led tonight. After dominating last week in Miami. But still, he would be probably pretty happy with second when he locks into the chase. 5 still remain. Anything could happen. Payson, of course, back to 8th now in that 99 car. Here's Cole Boston, currently runs in 11th. Throughout the field even more. There's Matthew White, just abysmal day of the 7 car. He is not going to be pleased with how today went. Three to go this time by. What a season for Bryce Benson. Of course, started off by winning his first ever Cup race in the Daytona 500. Start off the year, the biggest crown jewel we have in this league. Great American race, won that obviously. And then went to Sonoma victory lane, surprisingly. Took advantage of Matthew White's issues, and all of a sudden went back-to-back victories in Atlanta. Took advantage of Sean Rowe flipping upside down. Or, sorry, Payson nearly flipping Sean Rowe upside down. So 2 to go this time by. Went on a bit of a winless streak, I guess you can call it. And then it won the Charlotte 600 in a crazy fashion. Absolutely mind-boggling fashion with Braden Hunsicker. Here he is. About like 4 races later. Kentucky looking for another victory. With a lap and a half left to go. Cameron, just not enough. Same thing with Braden. The 9 car has been the class of the field the second half of the race, and he will come off turn 4 to see the white flag this time by. It is 1 lap to go in Kentucky to make it official that we would have no more cautions. He is just numbered. Final lap underway. for Bryce Benson. What a season he's had so far. Unbelievable. Sits second in points. He probably still would be second in points. Cameron Chandler, there might be no touching him for the regular season championship at this point. But down the back straightaway one more time for the 9. A lot of laps led as well today. It's going to be his 3rd mile-and-a-half win of the season. He will come out of turn number 4 to see the checkered flag yet again. How about win number 5 of the year for Bryce Benson and Team Chevy Motor Club? He wins Kentucky. Second will be Chandler. Third across the line, Hunsinger. Rowe will finish before rounding out your top 5 impressively for Jamie McKinney. They all finish the race behind. But man, what a day. Bryce Benson goes to victory lane yet again in the 9. 5th career win, 5th of the season. How about it? 3rd mile-and-a-half victory this year as well. Bryce Benson wins in Kentucky. And he will get to burn it down. Picked up his 5th checkered flag in just 14 races this year. This might, in fact, also lock Bryce into the chase. Okay, MNF Racing. Apparently they don't need those cars again. But Bryce Benson will burn it down. Your winner in Kentucky. What a victory for the driver of the 9 car. Be a long burnout down this front straightaway. Well, he's tried to do this a couple times this season. He's going to fail again. I don't think anyone could really do a full burnout like Denny Hamlin can. Maybe someone, I don't think Cheery tried at Pocono, and he won there, unfortunately. But Bryce Benson goes to victory lane tonight here in Kentucky. Winless streaks have been hard to come by for Bryce Benson this season. He will break a 2-race winless streak here, I guess. Wow, what a season though for the 9. I mean, he's not the points leader, but he does have 3 more wins than anybody else. Starts it down with his paint scheme maker, Zane Rahman. He designed that car, the 9, the Napa car. So, but Bryce Benson goes to victory lane in Kentucky. Man, what a day, guys. Eli ultimately probably would have been better for you guys if you didn't get trapped a lap down there. But how about Landon Johnson? You finished on the lead lap. Ooh! Wow, what an incredible celebration. Well, that will be that in Kentucky. That's also it for the week. So, this is all we had for the week, unfortunately. But we'll be back next week in Michigan. That should be fun. Probably also gonna have lobbies on Friday as well. All right. Well, anyways, post-race interviews coming up here in Kentucky. It was a great battle there with about 20 or so laps to go between Bryce Benson and Cameron Chandler. They both slammed the wall. I thought one of them was going to give out there, but luckily none of them do. And your winner is coming up. Bryce Benson, how about it? Your 5th win of the year and your 5th career win to go along with that. What an incredible season for you guys. And also a really great battle there with the 8 of Cameron Chandler. You guys both slammed the wall. Take me through what was going through your mind there and how you're ultimately able to hold on for another victory on this season. You're also your 3rd of at a mile-and-a-half.
Yeah, it was pretty tough to stop Cameron. I had to drive literally my best to hold him off because he's just that good. But yeah, it was definitely not easy. Obviously, like, dirty air, putting air on someone in front of you was huge, and I honestly thought I might have just lost the race after Cameron got me, but I was able to still attack, and I put air on his quarter panel and got him loose and was able to get back to the lead. And yeah, really glad to get this win. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm kind of unlucky in some other league races, also just some official races. So I was hoping that that wouldn't transfer into here, and it did not. And Kind of a sigh of relief because, yeah, I just really wanted to get another win, and it was a big win because I do need to gain points on camera in the regular season championship. But yeah, just really glad to get it. Good battle, Cameron, if he's listening to the interview, and yeah, just really happy to get it.
Well, great day, of course, obviously for you guys. You might also uh, lock yourself into the chase here. I'm not exactly 100% sure if you're going to do that or not. As iRacing for me is crashing for some reason. Okay. Anyways, you guys, if I can get to it, ultimately ended up leading the most laps, 85 on the day. You scored a bonus point for, I believe, leading the most laps, and then, of course, getting 0 wrecks. You also finished second in the stage. Another nearly max points day for you guys. So, as we get closer to the chase, how is the field to probably be just about locked in?
Yeah, definitely feels great. I mean, um, obviously no playoffs, so I don't have the chance to get eliminated in like the first round again. But yeah, I feel like past two seasons I've been kind of fortunate when it comes to the chase of like playoffs. I mean, obviously missed it in season 3, then got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs last season. So um, yeah, really glad to be locked in. I don't know if I ever did that last season. I kind of forgot, but yeah, it's definitely that's also another relief because I don't really have to worry about that too much. But ultimately, just kind of focus on just getting the regular season championship. That's all I can really do right now. Try to make the most of the season. So yeah.
All right, Bryce. Well, congratulations on the victory here tonight in Kentucky. A really great job for you guys. We got some fried chicken down. Colonel Sanders has awoken from the dead. He is here to award you some fried chicken. So, how much are you that are gonna eat?
Uh, you know what? This might be the one good day to get fat. I think it's the one
Wow,
good day. Yep, I think it's the one good day.
unbelievable. You're gonna have to share some with Cameron Chandler, of course. Uh,
Oh yeah.
well, anyways, congratulations, Bryce, and we'll see you next week in Michigan.
Yeah.
No comment. Anyways, coming up next will be your second place finisher, Cameron Chandler.
I think it's every day for Lane Johnson.
Eating chicken, yeah.
Okay, iRacing, Eli, I don't know if you can see, but or Brandon, Landon and Eli, I don't know if you can see, but iRacing's being a bit of a fruit right now.
Just log in, dog.
It's not working.
Nope.
What are we doing?
You're cooked. You're cooked.
Hang on. I don't want to show this. I trust you guys. Yeah, that's right, I think. Oh, it's not right. I'm a fruit. Okay, I'm the fruit here. I
Ethan
put in the wrong
Trindler,
password.
everyone.
We put in our trading paints password. Whoops. Okay. Whoopsie. That's my bad. I apologize. iRacing. It's not your fault for once.
Watch it still
And,
be
oh,
wrong.
there we go. Okay. All right, so we're back in. Thank God. Anyways, coming up next will be Cameron Chandler. Cameron Chandler, it's second place overall today. Obviously not the same dominance we saw you have last week in Homestead. But yeah, it's still a P2, a great points day after already being locked into the chase. 4 races now left to go. You guys think you can possibly get yourself close into locking up this regular season title?
Yeah, we did lose a few points with Bryce winning the race and having finishing better in the stage, but I still feel like we're gonna be pretty far enough ahead enough to be safe. It's just unfortunate. I feel like we definitely didn't have as good of a car as Bryce. Bryce was just lightning fast from the second half of the race that I could see, and we got ahead of him at that one point, and then just he didn't really cut me much brakes or trying to get me loose on the left rear and got to my inside, and that was all she wrote once he had that clean air back. But hats off to Bryce, and he's the one guy I didn't want to win in terms of playoff points. But oh well, we'll go into the next 4 weeks, and hopefully we can go win.
So I do want to hear your opinion on this. With added horsepower and obviously the setup, what did the dirty air kind of effect feel like here?
I mean, it it definitely is still there. I don't think we really can do much to get rid of it. Maybe if we take out some weight, but I do feel like this is a step in the right direction. You could move up more lines. I was able to make the top work until I got the brace, and then brace realized that, and it took that away from me, and I just wasn't good enough on the bottom. But uh, for us going to Kentucky and being able to battle the way we were, I know me and Brace had a really the entire second half. Sean got in there at 1.2. I, I I don't know how the first half was either because our pitch strategy was terrible. We had Cole Wilson in the box, but I definitely do feel like this is an improvement. Tires definitely matter a lot more. Um, and you can't just push to the front and be fine for the entire run. So I'm excited to see how we are going to be in Michigan and whatever the last three other races before Daytona are, and hopefully we can see an improvement.
Well, anyways, Bryce Benton said he's going to share some fried chicken that Colonel Sanders is delivering him down on pit road. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Colonel Sanders has been dead for 40 years.
Well, he's going to rise from the dead.
And you know what? No, I don't need to rant about how bad Kentucky is, but yeah, nice try, Ethan Schindler. It's no, just no.
All right, well, enjoy the fried chicken, and we will see you next week in Michigan. Wow, unbelievable. Downed. Anyways, coming up next will be, how about Jamie McKinney? Jamie Holt, what? Jamie McKinney, nice try. Jamie McKinney, you guys will end up in 5th place in your first, or maybe your second cup race of the season. What a great day for you guys. You're on that really interesting strategy where you stayed out there in the first half early in the race. So what was going on there, and ultimately how do you think that worked out to put you guys in P5 for the finishing?
Well, the reason why I went on that strategy was because like I just wanted to go off a different strategy, so I didn't have to follow everyone else, and I think it worked out pretty well. We didn't do well in practice or qualifying because we didn't attempt qualifying, but I think like with the added horsepower and like the tire wear helped me a lot, so I could push the car a lot differently, and I think this really showed like the amount of horsepower can really change like the way you drive the car, and I really like it.
Well, of course, we go to Michigan next week. Obviously, you aren't a full-time driver, but do you think we're gonna see you here at another race anytime soon?
I don't know. I will be back when summer break starts for me, so that will be like 2 months from now. But I'd like to thank my sponsor Strafe Energy for sponsoring me. So use code Jamie84 for 10% off if you want to. I'd like to thank QM and TCMC for giving me the opportunity to race here. And big thanks to Aiden, my wife, for hopping on board. Yeah, thank you for talking to me.
All right, Jamie. Well, nice job here on the run tonight, and we'll see you when you're able to race again.
Yeah.
Ooh, I almost moved Eli Franklin again. Whoops. Wow. Unbelievable. Anyways, coming up next will be Payson Lindsay. Payson Lindsay, PA, but we got to talk about that horrific, horrendous, disgusting strategy you decided to pull in stage 1. So what?
Honestly, I don't think the strategy was that bad, but I don't think you caught it. But Max Filippi decided he wasn't happy that we stayed out and went up and dured us under caution. Benton, our left front, gave us 30 seconds of damage. We had permanent damage literally the rest of the race. It was completely undrivable. It was plowing in clean air, plowing in dirty air, sliding loose off the corners after 5 laps. It was undrivable. I mean, we had a top 3 car the whole race, and we just got it ruined because Flippy couldn't take that. He was not going to get his lap back when he was already 3 laps down. So, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. Basically ruined our race, and it made us give up a lot of points because we had 30 seconds of damage before that, and that's why we fell back as fast as we did. I mean, I don't know if we were going to stay up front and get stage points quite, but I mean, I think we could have maybe got P9, P10 if we didn't have 30 seconds of optional. Because I mean, we were slower than Aiden, who also did the same strategy of us there.
Well, of course, it's not looking too great on the points now. I think you didn't really gain too much because Jake Quayle gained 7 more points than you guys today. Now he's not the driver on the chase cut line. So as Ashton Miller gets pushed down after just not showing up tonight. But we head to Michigan next week. That's a track that kind of opens up for a lot of drivers. You think it's desperation time to try to win a race, even though that technically doesn't lock you in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make next week, but if I can, I think Michigan's been a very good track for us. I don't know if you remember season 2 in the Grand National Series. We were up front there, late with Ashton Miller. We've also had other good runs. You know, really, I'd say controversial run in season 4 there in Michigan, if you remember, in the Grand National Series, and we've had all right speed in the next gen, but because I think the Gen 4 drives a little bit more like the Xfinity car a little bit with how loose it gets there at Michigan. I think if we can just stay up front on strategy, not get left front damage from Max Flippy, maybe we can stay in the top 5 and try and steal one.
All right. Well, I do need you to clarify something. What are you talking about in season 4 at Michigan? Can you explain to the fans?
I have no further comment at this time.
Wow, unbelievable. Anyways, we will see you next week in Michigan.
Yeah, thank you. Favorite.com.
Coming up next is going to be Jacob Quayle. Jacob Quayle, a very solid points day for you guys. It's going to be a top 10 finish. He also got stage points, I believe, as well in this race after finishing 5th in the stage. So a really good day for you after needing this, entering the chase, this below the chase cut line. This race will propel you to 10th in the standings, which is great for you. And I think, let's see the cut line right now. The gap should be about 5 or 6 points. So what's that feeling like after getting this bit of a buffer now?
Yeah, it's definitely good. I was happy with the long run speed I had tonight. Short runs, I went backwards, but no, just need to keep having days like this to make the chase, I think. So.
All right. Well, of course, yeah, there are 4 races left to go in this season. They're all pretty different tracks. You got Michigan coming up, then we go to Darlington for the throwback race. Then we head to Watkins Glen, a road course, and have a super speedway Daytona to end the regular season. So, what do you think the key to consistency is going to be at these 4 last remaining races that are all pretty different?
Put myself in a good spot for Daytona. That these next 3 are the main races that matter, and if I have to get lucky to make it in, then I should have done better over the last few races. But yeah, just gonna, and then like so Michigan, I mean, feel like I'll be okay there, but I feel like Darlington's probably gonna be one of my better tracks just this whole season. And I like the Glen too. It's my home road course, so just home track in general.
All right, Jacob. Well, nice job. A good points day for you. You guys will bring you inside of the top 10 in the chase, and we'll see you next week in Michigan.
All right.
Up next, I think we have a few more to go here. Going to be Aiden Holes. Aiden Holes, you guys wound up 9th in this race.
What?
Well, you're getting interviewed. Too bad. You wound up 9th in this race. So ultimately, it wasn't a bad day for you guys at all. I think it was a pretty solid day from the speed department. It looked like you guys ran inside the top 10 for a majority of it. So how do you feel your car was?
Honestly, it wasn't the best. If we're being honest, it was a pretty bad setup. The car's not the best. That's another thing. It could have been the way I was driving it, but just Kentucky's not good, and we tried to make it better with the setup, and it didn't really work. But I mean, we somehow finished top 10. We were battling hard with Payson for a good 3 or 4 laps. I think it was like 10, but anyway, we had a good battle with Payson. I don't know. Wish we'd have had more, but it's just how it goes sometimes.
Well, Michigan is coming up next week, so that's a track that a lot of drivers are very confident at that racetrack. So, what ultimately is your confidence level there?
If Cameron does what he did with the setup again, not great, but if he's on it, I don't know. I like that track with a good setup, so hopefully we can get something good going there. But it's whatever at this point.
All right, and well, we will see you coming up next week from the Michigan International Raceway.
Thank you.
Anyways, coming up next, going to be, I believe, Xander Ron. Dinnermon, it's a 13th place run here at Kentucky for your first Cup race back after announcing that you're going to be doing that merger with what was Red Ridge, and then
Yeah.
and then your other team. So ultimately, it wasn't the greatest day, I don't think, on speed for you guys. I looked back there, you kind of were side by side with Matthew White a lot. I saw you guys make contact a couple of times. First of all, what was going on there?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just typical Matthew White shenanigans. Like, the man has been aero blocking me for like 20 laps before he finally got my car loose enough to the point where I hit the wall off of like turn 2, and then Landon Johnson slammed into the rear of me accidentally. I didn't want to do that, so I'm sorry about that, Landon. But yeah, I mean, this one team had, yeah, I mean, like, it's not the greatest start for the one team for its full-time season, but I'm sure we can rebound at Michigan.
Well, you guys, I believe, made your Cup debut, if I'm remembering right, last season at Michigan. So you guys have good history at that racetrack. So how do you think you could go?
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about Michigan, like, that was my Cup debut. I remember I was filling in for Payson Lindsay, finished 12th. So I don't know. Maybe I can have a good run there, or unless I just have the same run I did like last year at in Grand Nationals where I finished 19th. But I don't know. We'll see.
All right, Zane, well, still nice job on the run tonight, keeping your car clean all day long with Matthew White being himself, and we will see you next week in Michigan.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of work going on behind the scenes, so yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have one more to go. It's going to be Max Diffie. Max Diffie, you guys had okay speed to actually start the race, but unfortunately a crash ultimately led to your, well, not a crash, but you hit the wall there, got damaged, kind of tried to work with it through the rest of the race. Unfortunately, I don't think you could, and you ultimately will DNF. What happened?
You're asking me. I don't know, out of nowhere, I got bumped a little bit, and then I go into the next couple of corners. It's just sliding, lose all the spots I had, which was like, I don't even know, and then going to the wall. I'm going down the front stretch, and I shred a tire, and I just go for a ride, and going to pit road. It said it was all 0, and then we're only 3 down. So I was hoping me and Matthew could get the wave around, and then go 2 down. And maybe me and Matthew can have a battle, and then I'll be 1 down when stage is over, and then hopefully for another yellow getting on that. But unfortunately, a couple guys stayed out. That didn't happen. I was very frustrated and kind of fed the door to one of those, and I kind of killed Payson's car. So it sucks to really hurt one of my best friend's car and pretty much cost me top 5. But yeah, so I regret doing that. But just from there on out, car drove like crap, and it's nothing.
All right, well, we go to the Irish Hills of Michigan next week. You guys think you can maybe regroup there and try to get a good finish?
Yeah, hopefully I'll just kind of like for next week, just a heads up on the setup and not like 2 days before when I've been practicing for a whole week for the setup. But aside from that, I think it was good. Yeah.
All right, Max. Well, nice job on the run tonight. Sorry about the unfortunate issues you had there late in the race, and we'll see you in Michigan.
See you there, buddy.
All right, well, that will do it in Kentucky, guys. Any final thoughts on this one?
I thought overall it was a pretty good race. Unfortunate where we pitted and the caution came out as soon as we got on pit road. That kind of hurt our day. Had any chance, was stuck a lap down and didn't get the yellow that we needed at the end of the race to get back to lead lap. But overall, good race. Got a stage point, which is a miracle in itself. We'll take that. But overall, it's a good day. Michigan will be very interesting next week if we do add the horsepower or not. It'll still be a very fast race track, and with the Gen 4 car, we're going to see way over 200 miles an hour, no matter what.
And then Landon Johnson.
I finished on the lead lap. I got stage points, and I made Ethan Trendler proud.
Yes, you did. Pretty incredible as we head to Michigan next week. Should be a very fun one, and we should have, hopefully, a normal-looking car count, or it doesn't look like half the drivers decided we're done. So yeah. All right. Well, that will do it in Michigan. Not yet. That will do it in Kentucky. I have an addiction of doing that for some reason. Anyways, we'll be back, of course, next week in Michigan, starting off on Wednesday with the Grand National Series, Thursday for the Cup race, and Friday night for lobbies as well. So it should be a very fun week, and we got a lot of upcoming action. One of the most anticipated weeks of the season. Driver's favorite racetrack, also fans' favorite racetrack in Michigan. You don't want to miss it. All next week on the channel. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that will do it tonight. We hope you enjoyed the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. So on behalf of all officials, team owners, commentators, drivers, everyone involved making this league what it is, 4 races remain in the Cup Series regular season, and we'll be back next week from Michigan International Speedway. So, good night from Kentucky. We'll see you next week in Michigan. Gut.
My arms got a little